welcome to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him at gods5minutes@gmail.com. Now, here's Ed Wilson with God's 5 Minutes.
Hello, friends. Toward the end of the book of Hebrews, the apostle, having concluded expounding the major doctrinal work the letter contains, wrapped up with a series of general instructions governing godly behavior for godly people everywhere. Hebrews 13:1 and 2 read, "Let brotherly love continue. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares." It's easy to see the connection between brotherly love and care for strangers. A truly kind and gracious heart reaches out to everyone, whether next-door neighbor or traveler from a distant land. The admonition concerning entertaining angels without knowing it is probably referring to Abraham's visit from God recorded in Genesis 18. Abraham was sitting in front of his tent when he saw 3 visitors standing by him. His reaction was classic. He ran to meet them, bowed toward the ground, and said, "Pass not away from thy servant. Wash your feet, rest under the tree. I'll fetch bread and comfort ye your hearts." And they said, "So do." And Abraham hastened unto Sarah and said, "Make ready meal, knead it, and make cakes." And Abraham fetched a calf, tender and good, and he hasted to dress it. And he took butter and milk and set it before them, and they did eat. The point of the story is that these 3 men were in reality God himself, and Abraham, at the start of the visit, apparently didn't know it. There are many lessons in the old narrative, but the one Paul laid his hand on to call to our attention was the Christian duty of kindness to those we meet in life. Strangers, by definition, in that distant time and place, were people who had stripped themselves of the familiar means of being comfortable at home and so must suffer hardship. The day was hot, their feet dusty and tired. They had no means of whipping up a steak dinner, complete with hot rolls, butter, and milk. When Abraham saw this, meeting their needs became momentarily the most important duty of his life. And that, friends, is a solid Christian example. All this happened some 4,000 years ago. A lot's changed since then. Probably most of us don't make our own butter or milk our own cows or break our own bread or have a calf in the back lawn we can butcher at a moment's notice. In the United States, there are many programs and assets for helping travelers. Most Americans would find it easier to treat our visitors to a nice restaurant meal than to do what Abraham did. But does it matter, really? The principle remains the same. The Lord wants us to be Abrahams, to go through life with our eyes open to those around us. One of life's great beauties is watching what happens when kind people are made aware of someone's need. The first reaction is usually caution. Is this genuine? Is it a scam? Am I seeing the situation clearly? And are there other resources moving to relieve this? All are very reasonable. But the need becomes clear. The guests are tired and hungry. No one else is standing by to help. The almost automatic next reaction is to see people start doing what Abraham did. Here are tired people. I have a tree. Their feet are sore. I have water. I have a basin. Off with the sandals. Sit here under a tree. Let me bathe your feet. Now, I wasn't expecting this today, so there's no fresh bread on the hearth, but I know how to fix that. See how the concern in a saint's heart is guiding the working of his mind and taking advantage of his skills and means to meet it? There's no word in this passage of Abraham thinking about how he can make money on these men who have mysteriously appeared at the door of his tent. There is nothing greedy in his thoughts of how to give them the minimum possible and send them on their way. There is only the charity of a kind, gentle heart, whose God-given place is to live in a house by the side of the road and be a friend of man. That day Abraham was a friend of God. Now how could anyone do better than that? And so we ask him to help us to see angels that may be along our way and help us to entertain them as we should. Oh, and have you talked to him today?
You have been listening to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him by email at godsfiveminutes@gmail.com. Tune in next time to hear more encouraging thoughts from God's Word on God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson.